Y'all ready?
Yep, let's go.
All right. Welcome back to Sports Fans Only. And I am Shawn Mack, and this is the SK Debate. Let's get right to it. Over here, we have my boy, my friend, my road dog, KJ. How you doing, baby?
What's good, brother? I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. All right. And over here, we have my friend, our brother from another mother lover. That mother lover, Jean-Renaud. How you doing, Jean?
That's pretty good, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
That's good to have you here, baby. Okay, stop it, Kay. I know. Okay, Gene. Let's get right to it. The floor is yours. Let's go.
All right. Well, this is part two of a debate we had last week, man, and we had some tough questions, and I was putting the boys on the spot, and they did their best. But we're gonna do it again, and this is part two, and I hope you're ready. So the questions are tough, but let's see how these guys do. Last week we left off with Shawn with having 1 point above my man KJ, and let's see if he could catch up and meet up, and let's get the ball going right now. So we stopped at 11, so now we're gonna go to number 12 right away. So the question is, do you have Manning, Montana, or Brady?
Go ahead, Shawn.
All right, my heart tells me Peyton Manning. I grew up a Peyton Manning fan. I love Peyton Manning. So gosh, I have to be real. I'm going to go with Brady. I have to be honest.
Any particular reason, or are you just going with Brady?
You're going to make me rub it in. All right, he got all the Super Bowls, and he's the most winning quarterback, and he's going to hold every record. Okay, there you go. All right.
This question right here is pretty much undebatable. I mean, maybe a few years ago, before Brady got his fifth, sixth, seventh. How many Super Bowls he got? 7?
I ain't even saying nothing. I ain't
going.
I'm not
7
today.
Hey, forgive my mic. My mic will be back in the commission next week, so if my voice sounds a little funny. But anyway, yeah, this is no debate. Brady, hands down, 7 Super Bowls. What, he's got 4 MVPs, 3 or 4, 5 Super Bowl MVPs. Like you said, all the records. That's pretty much a washout. Brady all day. Patriots 8-4. Let's go.
All right, that was pretty good. I got to give that one to be a tie because you guys basically agree, and I kind of agree a little bit too. Like, before Brady, it's not really a toss up with Montana. You got a lot of choices, but my man just came out of nowhere and just took care of business. All right, let's go to the next one. So far, we got 1-1. Let's go to the next question here. This is a flat out statement, and you guys tell me what you guys think. Notre Dame has the best college football program ever.
You can go ahead, Kay. Go ahead.
Let's see here. Notre Dame. Now, if you go by historical, if you're just going by historical events that have happened in the past, you might have a discussion. But over the last 20, going back to the 90s pretty much, I think they've only gone to 1 national championship, if I'm not mistaken, and that was against Alabama recently. That's when, I forget that dude's name. Remember that big drama when he was catfished? Teo, whatever, Manti Teo. Anyway, outside of that, man, they've been a above average team to very good team. They haven't reached that elite level. I would put Alabama above them. I would definitely put Alabama above them from a historical standpoint, and they've been winning recently. I would put them more in the category of Florida. I mean, if you want to speak to present day, I would put them more in that category. Florida, maybe a little above Oklahoma. But no, to answer your question, no, they are not the greatest college football team of all time. I got to give that to Alabama.
If you asked this question maybe 10 years ago, I would say Notre Dame. But that's more of your late 70s with Montana, maybe with Lou Holtz in the 80s, early 90s. But they kind of been done for a while. So this question, I'm going to have to say that, I take the fill because Notre Dame definitely is. And it has to be Alabama or even at one time Florida State had it. Florida State had
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yeah, I would actually say Alabama, Ohio State. Notre Dame has actually fallen. I would put them maybe, I don't know, of all time in the top 10. Definitely not top 5.
You know what hurts them? And I just want to interject real quick. What hurts them is being an independent. I think if they were in, like, say, the SEC or maybe the ACC, you would get more of the top echelon recruits to come to your school because you're always playing the Clemsons or the Alabamas or even if you went to the Big 12 with Ohio State. That's what it's called now, the Big 12, right? Not the Big 10. But anyway, I think if they were in the league, I think they would definitely benefit from that from the recruiting standpoint. They never can seem to get a great quarterback. They haven't had a great quarterback in a long time, and I think that's their main problem. They get like these B class quarterbacks, and I think that's their issue. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay, I could feel that. Their legacy got tarnished for the last 10, 20 years, but they used to be at the top. Their name literally rang bells, but other programs have kind of just stepped in. All right. Yeah. That's a tie because y'all kind of both agree again. All right, cool. Let's get to some a little bit more juicy.
Okay.
Could women play in men's sport in 2021 with all the gender role confusion and assertions that's going on right now?
Okay. What sport?
Whatever sport you want, because they're completely separate now.
Some sports I think it can work.
Like what?
All right. I'm not being funny here, but like bowling, tennis, some of the newer sports that they have that's on that when you're looking at it, you're like, wow, that's not a sport. When it comes to physicality, I think you won't be able to. Now, this is just being from a man-woman perspective. When you get into different types of gender, I think that's a whole nother conversation for another day. So it can be, but you have to think about what sport you're in because you don't want to get into a whole medley of legal issues and everything like that. Like I'm trying to walk a fine line now. Imagine them
right now in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. But imagine me being a league trying to have someone actually play and do these things. So in certain instances, yes, but you always want to be fair and you don't want to have someone actually go out there and get hurt on the field because of the strength and the differences between the strength. So in certain instances. So I guess that's a maybe not.
All right. What do you think, Kate? Can it be done?
I think it depends on how bad you want it to get done. The reason why I say this is if you dedicate your whole life to training, like if you go look at women bodybuilders, now I know it's not the same. I understand men are going to be stronger. But if you take some of these women that are bodybuilders and teach them how to play football, now I'm not saying they'd be good, but I do think that they could take the physicality. If you put them as a receiver or something like that, especially in today's NFL, I definitely think that, like I said, actually, let me not even say that. I'm not going to say they wouldn't be good or whatever. There's a possibility there could be a little slot receiver. Have you ever seen those football? I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying from a skill standpoint.
You don't know, right?
Yeah, they have a female football league. So from a skill standpoint, I think they can do it. And I think from a body build standpoint, they could do it. I definitely think they could do it in basketball. I think somebody like Diana Taurasi, if you just sat her out there and shot through, now she'd be a liability on defense. I understand that. But could she score? Absolutely. Why couldn't she score, hit 2 3-pointers in a game? Yeah. Now, if you're talking about how good somebody is, now that's a totally different story. But could they? Theoretically, I definitely think. Baseball is even more so. I think you can have a woman pitcher.
Yeah. Easily. You know what I didn't think about, Kay? Like when we think about the 80s players compared to the players now in the NBA, I totally didn't think about the level of performance that they have now as far as off the field in their workout regimens. Yep. You're right. I've seen some women that shame me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take a lick from them and they might beat me. You know what I'm saying? So not saying that a woman can't, but like really, she might beat me into the dirt. Yeah. So you get someone that's 6'3", they could be a Welker. They can be an Amendola playing that slot receiver. First of all, fellas, I just want to stop in. C. Mac did stop by and he said, "What up, fellas?"
What up, C. Mac?
Yeah, I like the fact that this is live, man. This is going to be fun, interesting right here. All right.
I forgot I was for a while. I forgot we was live.
All right, so what's happening now is, Kay took the hard road of actually saying, yeah, there's a way to kind of blend them in. Shawn brought up that, it is a possibility, but Kay was kind of clear on the scenario. So I'm going to have to give him an extra point for that one. And we're going to move on. Yep. So should college athletes be paid?
Yes. Reason being, I wish I had that old skit from Cartman from South Park that I played that time on the, on the website. Remember, Kate?
Yep.
The indentured slaves.
Yep.
You know, you have someone out there that's making millions to billions for you.
Yep.
But I'm gonna make up a rule to why I can't pay you. That's the biggest bullshit you ever can find anywhere, almost in any society. So once you take the premise of I'm gonna make money off of your hard work and labor, and I'm gonna give you nothing, we have an issue there. Now, I do like what the NCAA did or have done over the past year and a half. I can't get paid for my likeness. So if I'm a little guy working and I'm playing for Kansas, which is a small football college, right? And the local guy that sells cars want me to stand on some tires and hold them up like this for my likeness, and I get paid $2,500. I can get paid my $2,500 for my likeness. School has nothing to do with that. And I love it because me and C was just talking about this. See, Anthony, these dudes do all that on the field, make all that money, go by the coach's house. He need a little something to eat and some shoes because his parents are a little, you know, don't really have much money. And the school find out he loses his scholarship. The school get fined. Come on, man. Come on, let's be realistic. So I'm going to say, yeah, they should, because slavery ended a long time ago.
I like those points. I like those points.
All right, that kind of makes sense.
All right, let me get into this. Let's see here. Now, one example I have, I was talking to Roshmel Jones, used to play for the UConn Huskies, and he was telling me about Travis Knight. I know, Shawn, you probably remember him. He was a center for the UConn Huskies.
Yep.
Went on to play for the Phoenix Suns. He was telling me how his family was rich. Like, he had no want for anything. He was all set. So the reason why I bring that up is I would do it like this. Be based on your family's income. So if you're rich and you're on scholarship and you got money like that, this is a two-part thing here. You're not getting no cash. You're not, from the school's not giving you no money, just like with financial aid and stuff. If your parents got money, we're not giving you don't need an allowance. The kids that need an allowance based on your parents' income and all that good stuff, they should get a stipend or whatever they call it, some type of allowance per month, maybe like $3,000-$4,000 a month, $1,000 a week. I think that's fair. And then now, as far as the likeness goes, that goes for anybody. But I don't think you should just be giving out money left and right like that, only because you start getting a sticky situation where the schools with more money, they'll be able to provide more, they'll come with a briefcase full of money. And I don't think you should be giving teenagers, things can be corrupt when you start dealing with big sums of money. So the likeness thing is cool because it's under contract, you get paid, it's legal. But all this underhanded money, just passing money out left and right, that's going to lead to corruption, guaranteed. And there has to be some type of law and order when it comes to that. But I love the likeness thing. And when it comes to just giving students money, it should be based on their family's income.
I kind of like that family income thing. I never heard of that. It's quite interesting.
All right.
But I think once you go into the likeness, it stops some of that. Because the school won't have to pay out and the guy can go make money. Because what we're really talking about is getting down to the bottom of the athletes that really don't make the money, right? That's not going to get the calls from the Chevys and the water bottles and the Poland. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like that. Okay, I like that idea. That's a good one.
What just popped in my head real quick is, what about teams like Kentucky and Duke that have all these top players? I'm pretty sure every single player on that team isn't getting a likeness deal for a lot of money. I'm pretty sure maybe the top 2, 3 maybe. But the dudes that are coming off the bench who are still great players who probably start anywhere else, they're probably not going to be getting those likeness deals. So, it's kind of a sticky thing, but I think they'll work it out.
But overall, we all can agree that slavery ended a long time ago, right?
Yeah, we can agree on that one. That's for sure.
Wanted to make sure.
All right. It looks like that one we could go a little bit deeper because it's going on right now. The transitions are being made. Some are getting paid. Some are not being left in the dirt, and they're starting to realize these sponsorship monies is big time. ticket sales, TV deals, the likeness for games, and all the other things. So it's a work in progress. So that was kind of a tie because you guys could really debate it out and really come out with a conclusion as America is kind of doing right now. A real quick one. This might be quick. BCS or playoffs is best for college football?
Whose goal is it? Is it my turn or is it?
You can go.
Yeah, it's my turn. It's my I think the playoffs is what's best for college football. That BCS nonsense was horrible. You basically had a computer computing things together that, in my opinion, I mean, strength of schedule that's a biased thing, right? Like you could be a great team, but have a horrible schedule. So I don't think you should be penalized for playing a bunch of horrible teams just because your league isn't strong a particular year. I don't think that should penalize you, just like with Cincinnati right now. There's a chance they may not get into the college playoffs if these other teams keep playing really, really good. Now, Alabama almost lost yesterday to Auburn. They almost lost. So I don't know how that's going to hurt Alabama's chances because they were unranked. But yeah, to answer your question, BCS was trash. I'm glad they got rid of that. I do think they should expand the playoffs. Do it like the NFL. What is it, 12 teams in the NFL?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's 12. I think they should expand it to 12 and just make it more exciting. It'll make the whole season that much more exciting. So that's my outlook on it.
All right. First, you saw me writing down a little stuff right here. I feel all important. Yeah. First, let's deal with the BCS. All right. If you don't have eyes, legs, arms, brains, any skin, shouldn't be voting. That's for the computers, first of all. It was stupid to actually think about that. Second, for the playoffs, this is where we get into a problem with the playoffs, the college playoffs. First, it was 4, right?
Yeah.
You know what? That's not enough. We got to go to a different system where 4 can knock out 5 if 6 is hanging out there. So now we have 6, right?
Right. Yeah, 6 now. Yeah.
2, right? All right.
Yeah.
Man, but what about that 17, bro? You know, then that 7 could be worried about that 9th, then that 10th. Now we got 10 teams. But you know, that 11th team was really looking real good towards the end of the season, and we had to vote them out. So I guess we got to go to 12 now. Point that I'm making is endless. It will never stop. I think what Case said probably makes the best sense. Go to 12, cap out, that's it. We'll get to it 50 years from now. We'll let our kids get to worrying about trying to add another team on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The BCS originally, when we were younger, robbed so many teams. We talked about this, Kay. Two champions. Remember the year LSU won and who else won? I forget. We had that half a championship with Saban.
Oh, yeah. That was it Michigan? Was it Michigan and LSU?
Michigan might have been their last one that they had. We could be wrong.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we are.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was that half championships, teams that win undefeated, you can't have a number 1 Power 5 house team go undefeated and don't win the championship because some other team won it. Well, he tied it with him. Can't have ties when it comes to championships. So that was stupid. To max out at the 12 on the playoffs, and that's the end of the story. We'll let our kids worry about adding 13 to 25.
And I just want to interject real quick. I think the NCAA should hire me. Yes, I said that. NCAA should hire KJ because this is my idea, and you can't tell me this isn't a great idea. So you've heard it talked about, and it'll probably never get done. But they need to make a super league, right? Pluck certain teams out of leagues, your Ohio States, your Clemsons, your Alabamas, maybe your Oklahomas, a few other teams, pluck them out of their leagues, make a super league, right? Leave all the leagues the way they are. So when that super league, they're always playing for the national championship. That's their bowl. The other leagues still play for the Rose Bowl, whatever. Depending on how those teams below that super league play, let's say there's a thing for them where somehow they get ranked. So basically the best out of those lower teams at the end of the year, if they're ranked the highest out of those teams, they move up to the Super League, and the worst team slides down back into the whatever league they were in before. And you just keep doing that. And so everybody has a chance to get to the NCAA championship if you're great in the lower leagues. So you still get a chance to get into that league and get to the national championship. Excuse me. And as far as those other teams, they drop out and they got to work their way back in. I think that's the only, and you still have the playoff system, like I said, and that way it'll be more like the NFL, and these other teams will be like like how soccer does it. They do it exactly like that, and I think
I like that, and it makes so much sense because, excuse me, technically it's like that now, right? Almost. As far as top teams that we know is going to make it, then we have these teams like, remember Michigan State before they lost?
Yep.
People were saying that they should have been ranked 4.
Yep.
And eventually it did play out. But at least you're right. At least that bottom tier that probably know, even if they win the conference championship, they're going to go to the Cotton Bowl or something like that, but they won't be able to make it to the championship. So at least you give them maybe six teams, battle it out, and they have a spot at that number 4 per se to try to make it to the championship. So you will have, it's like a 16th seed or 8th seed in the NCAA men's basketball. At least they get a shot.
Or even have a 4, the way they used to do it a few years ago, a 14 playoff from the 10 to the 14 team, and whoever wins that little, and still make each game a bowl, but whoever wins that little thing, they get to move up to the upper league, and the worst team up there moves down to whatever division they were in before.
Yeah. You just can't have your top teams playing.
Let's get it.
That's all.
Go ahead. Let's get it going. I can see you guys got the juices flowing and creating like a whole new system for like 200 schools. All right, so let's go on to a little something that might be a little quicker. The concussion rules should be in the NFL, but done by agents before they even give you their new prospects and their new clients. Concussion rules in the NFL should be taken care of by agents.
No. So anytime you're dealing with an agent, you're dealing with a lot of shiesty individuals on some means and forms of ways. So they're going to always be looking to get over, right? Mm-hmm. And by them always trying to get over, you can't have it, because if that's the case, everybody having there that, like, what would be a good, I can ask you a question. What would be a good rebuttal on a contract from an agent about the concussions?
Well, something like, 3 hits, give me all my money. You know what I'm saying? If the doctor says I got a future concussion.
All right. We're pulling out the nuts and bolts of this question. Yes, then. Yes. But that comes down to the team, because I'm pretty sure we, on the other side, we don't see it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of agents ask a lot of dumb shit in contracts. We just don't hear about them, right?
We do.
So, but I feel what you're saying. Should everyone have one? Yes, everyone should have one. If I get hurt and my career ends, I get X, Y, and Z. But the NFL is going to step in, and I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, okay, if we give you this, we're done with you. You can't come back and sue and be on some type of mass lawsuit suing us 20 years from now about CTE.
True.
So, yes, but that's going to be up to the team itself. And just remember, how sometimes you take a short term, but it hurts you long term?
Yeah.
You take that short term, it might hurt you in the long term. So that would be something for them and their agent to figure out. Long story short, answer your question. You had me say no at first, but yes.
Okay. So the agents can put that in the contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think theoretically, I think it's a great idea, but just knowing people and the way they are now, I know everybody heard about what was going on in the NBA not too long ago with the the health insurance scams, where players were you saw that big list of players that were putting in false reports to get money from the insurance company.
Yeah.
Well, I basically feel like fringe players. Now, this wouldn't happen with the star players and players that are well known and getting paid well. If you put that stuff in your contract, I guarantee you the dudes that are sitting on the bench, or the dudes who think they might get cut soon, they're going to start screaming, oh, there's something wrong with me. You know what I mean? Just to make sure they get that guaranteed money. And there's no real way to test for that, I don't think. Like, you know what I mean? There's symptoms, but there's no way to look in your brain and tell if you really have a concussion. So I just think that'll lead to people making false claims and just people taking advantage of it. It's if they could implement it without people being shady, like how people are, Like, I know people come home from the military, one of the first things they do is start saying, "Oh, I got this wrong," and nothing be wrong with them. Some do, but oh, this is wrong with me, and this is wrong.
Let's be real,
Yeah.
most do. But given a chance in any society, any type of person in society is gonna take over. Someone's gonna scheme.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I just think that the NFL just like that. That's too. You're opening the door for scammers to just come out the woodworks. That's just my opinion. I think it's a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Theoretically, it should be done, but I don't think people are responsible enough to be honest about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a great question that addresses a problem that needs to be solved, that won't be solved because it's going to always be in the courts.
That's true. That's true. And then you got the doctors who are the ones who are saying this is happening, and the brain scans don't work unless it's like 15, 20 years later. So there's just too many little tiny things that could go wrong.
And remember,
it needs to be addressed.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't scan for CTE unless you're passed away already. So they're getting closer. So you know what? Your question, it might be a reality soon, because once you can test for CTE on a living being, you might be able to put that in the contract then.
Ask for that.
Yeah, because it's negligent, right? Because that's what they're suing them about, the negligence of you knew that this does a certain thing, but you didn't let us know the ramifications of this certain thing. So
yeah.
As the moderator for this one, the way you guys are answering these questions, I'm supposed to pick a side and give points, but it's like the points are so varied and so knowledgeable and so well thought out. I'm gonna have to just leave that one as a tie again, and let's keep it moving.
You know what this feels more like? This feels more like a little sports reporters.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna try to throw something off the left field here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right on the foul line. Human cloning should be accepted for sports only as a test field.
Wait, so
You want to repeat that?
Yeah, no. So when the clone, you mean to test, to put them into the sport and see how they work out?
The first human cloning subject should be done for some type of sports related matter.
Since we're a sports show, can I answer, Kay?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, since we're a sports show, in my mind, let you walk into my mind, see how I work a little bit. I'm thinking here and I'm like, what could we do with this person that we wouldn't do with someone that's not a clone? So let's collectively think of this. What could we do? Because I like the idea and it's pretty dope, but what could we do that can kind of benefit mankind with this clone?
Man, I would put them through like the toughest test possible, man. You know what I'm saying? Like unheard of shit. You know what I'm saying? Navy SEAL training for basketball. You know what I'm saying? Just something crazy.
Yeah. I like that. You sound like we on some Russians back in the day. They pretty
what
much.
What are you talking about?
They pretty much maxed out what they could with their athletes, right? You know. Yeah. I was thinking about some form of testing to. I don't really know. It would be dope. I just don't know. Now, does this clone actually have superhuman abilities?
No, just a regular cloning of one of your star athletes. LeBron James too.
Oh, now this gets interesting, Kay.
Yeah, but you didn't train him.
You didn't say that.
No. See, I would like to clone Brady and see could he possibly his clone win 6 bowls.
Yeah, but what if you clone him from '98? Remember how he looked in '98?
That's true. Clone Jordan, but the high school Jordan. Yeah, that would be interesting. I would go with Jordan or Brady, and yeah. Now, yeah. But now you get into a whole thing. If they injure somebody on the court, they're gonna be like, technically, did a human injure a human? You get into, can he be sued because technically he's not a human? That'll be dope.
Well, wait. Question though. Now, do these clones have handlers to make them do what the original did? Because I mean, if they have their own mind, they could do whatever they want to do, right? Or is this just a hype?
Like if you clone LeBron James right now, you're not cloning his mind. He'll have the perfect specimen body, blank sheet.
So he would have the DNA to do everything LeBron does. It's just a matter of whether or not he would. But the question is, hypothetically, they know how to play the sport that their clone played, right?
It's almost natural. Give him the ball, you'd be like, oh shit.
Wouldn't that? Well, if somebody won a championship with that though, wouldn't that there'd be an asterisk.
Bro,
I mean, wouldn't there
SFO,
be?
man, you let me know. Let the fans know.
I mean, how legit would that be? I mean, damn, Gene, you came from super left field. You came from the polo grounds. You know how far that damn wall was.
This feels like one of those "what would you do" from back in the day.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do with that.
All right, for that one. All right, so that one we're gonna have to put like a flat N/A on that one. Nobody wins.
Yeah.
It's too hypothetical, and it's just it's too left field.
Too deep for me.
Too futuristic.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep it in the futuristic tip and try. I'm trying to throw you guys off, man.
Okay.
So
all right.
Now we got this one. Virtual athletes, they're starting to be the rave now. They should be able to get paid exactly the same as physical athletes and real athletes.
No, let me go real quick. Hell no. I mean, unless the audience that they're attracting online is that on par with a regular NBA, NFL game. Like, say now, if they're attracting 80,000 fans every time they get on there and say, because 2K has their own basketball league, like professional dudes, and they go live in an apartment in the city that they play for. So the New York team, they all live in an apartment and they play their games in a gym. So I think they should, if they attract the amount of fans, and I don't know why just my mind went blank. What are the companies that are advertising?
Yeah.
If they could get the advertising and the fans to watch, yeah, of course they should. I think that's all that really matters, right?
At the end of the day, eyeballs.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. My bad.
No. I was just saying. So yes. So that's my answer.
All right. When he first asked the question, felt like I was an old man and life was passing me by too fast. I was like, what is he talking about? Virtual? Are they actually athletes in the computer? And you want me to ask like what's that movie? What you call him, guy?
Blade Runner or
no, the new movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Free Guy or something.
Free Guy. Yeah, I'm like, is he talking about Free Guy type thing?
Hey.
And I'm like, I get what you're saying. To me, this comes back down to remember we talked about the women's. Do they deserve the money and whatever?
Yeah.
Come on now. Stop that shit. Come on. It gets back down to that to me. How much revenue are they making? Some of these guys bring in money. Your top players make like a couple mil a year.
Yeah.
And don't talk about those teams. Like they have those squads that they have, 4 on a team. Dudes bringing money. Monster be all on their jacket. Monster be all on their controllers and everything like that. So I guess it comes back down to what you're making. I'm a big believer in, I don't know, people want to say capitalism. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know. I just believe I work hard. Yeah, I work hard. You pay me for what I work for. I cannot get something for nothing.
Yeah, you like what you see, you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah. So But you threw me off at first. I thought I was getting old. I was like, man, you have to pay people in a computer.
You're almost there. Facebook just announced they got the whole virtual reality metaverse in there, and you can do anything you can do in there and out here. So it's going to be an interesting new virtual athletes. The game's going to change a little bit, and there's money being made there as well. But let's move on. This one should be quick.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Just to let y'all know, we have 40 minutes, so it's all on how long y'all want to go.
All right, we got a few. We already did like 7 or 8, so let's try to wrap up some more. Make this one quick. Should water bottles be banned across all sports with the whole Earth situation going on?
You know what?
Wait, what?
Water bottles.
Water bottles. You know what? That's a great question. I'm not sure where you're getting these questions from, but hold on. Just pause. Everybody be quiet. That was for you, bro.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
That was some. I don't know if y'all could hear it over my end.
Nah.
I heard a little bit of it.
Okay. Yeah. Some claps for Gene. If everybody, the questions are wonderful. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Man.
You're addressing problems that, you know what? You're addressing problems that can make you a politician. Just saying. And I'll vote for you. Yes. That makes so much more sense. I wish we had data on how many water bottles are in plastic water bottles are in one arena any given night.
Oof.
Across the world.
Man, it's got to be in the thousands and millions. All these sports?
Ridiculous. Well, you see that. what is that out in the water? So I forget what ocean it is. They got the garbage with all the
Yeah, the
plastic.
garbage island. It's actual
like
island.
miles long. Like it's crazy.
All right, y'all. I know y'all like I went a little dark right now, but I was reading. Mike Little hit us up. He said, I know I'm a little late. I think I have to say Joe Montana. When you look at the rules, imagine what the defense could not do only to him, the offense, but think what he could do for the receivers. That's true.
Good point. Different time.
Good point, man. They played in gladiator days, bro.
I get that. Now he does. If you had a check box, he would get a check for that. But Brady has had too many comebacks.
Yeah.
And crucial moments to even mention Joe Montana. You can't mention Joe Montana's name anymore. In my opinion,
if Brady didn't make it to one or two of those Super Bowls, put it this way: even when Brady made it to 5 rings, I still had Joe. You know why? Because of the first 2 being Vinatieri. But he stepped up and started winning them by himself. He was like, you want to hop on my back? You want to hop on that Y right there and that B? One and that 2? I got big enough shoulders. Hop on. That's why I have to give him his props at K. Right there.
Yeah, well.
But after 5, I still had Montana because the first 2 was Vinatieri. He didn't do much.
After the Atlanta Super Bowl, when they came back from 24-3 and late in the third quarter,
and they were
I think that's when. Yeah, I think that's when most people said, "All right." I didn't want, except for Mike, obviously. He'll never say it, but I think that's when most people said, "All right."
All right, hold on, Mike. Mike says, first of all, he thinks this is a Marino jersey. He thinks it's a Dolphins jersey. But kudos, this is from Sports Fans Only. Some of our gear. I like to make you think it is a jersey though, because thank you.
Yeah, this one.
That's the point of the brand. We look like jerseys.
He said, why are you wearing a Marino jersey and not including him in the greatest quarterbacks of all time? Marino was, but you didn't get a championship, bro.
Yeah, that's a little tiny. It's like Barkley. I've seen Barkley play back in the day.
Yeah. All he needed was 1, too. You give Marino 1, they still be saying he a better thrower than Brady and Montana, and he's still one of the top talents of all times, and he have nothing. Think if he had 1.
Yeah, having nothing, you can't even be in the conversation.
Yeah, you can't. I'm sorry. You got next tier though, like you said, like Barkley, right? You know, as soon as you get out the people with championships, you go Barkley, Ewing, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z.
All right. Well, thank you for Mike for leaving the great comments while we live. If you got extra comments, please leave them below. You know, you can ask us any questions about any of the topics or things that you would like to see us talk about later on, and we'll put them on the next show. But right now, let's try to wrap this up with the last couple of questions and see if you guys can keep up with the rounds. Should mental health and sex education be mandatory in pro sports?
Should mental health and what? I didn't hear that last
Sex
part.
education.
Okay. Sex education. Oh, okay. I got you.
Sex ed.
I think it is though. Isn't it? Don't they do that with the incoming rookies now? They even talk about the women and the gold diggers.
It's a one-time thing just to make sure we can't get sued.
Oh, okay. So it's not
one meeting introduction type of deal.
Yeah. So they don't get sued. We covered our bases. They know. Here goes some millions of dollars to dudes that never had nothing. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, these at the end of the day, they grown ass, man. The sex education, I mean, should they? The way things are playing out over the last however long the NFL has been around, because you get dudes who ain't never had nothing, give them money. You know, the next thing right after that is the women. So, I mean, we're men. I mean, what are you gonna do? We all been to sex education. Did it do anything?
True.
You're gonna be what you're gonna be. All right. Well, that one leaves it at the tie because it's like a three-way agreement.
Wait. Shawn didn't even go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did.
I was trying to give him the W, man. How you trying to play the kid?
I don't go like this.
Just for that, what's the question again?
Sex ed and mental health should be mandatory in pro sports.
Okay, I'm about to see how I'm about to work in feelings about this.
Okay.
Sex education. And what else? Mental health, for sure. For sure. Honestly, you want to hear my theory on life? I believe when you're born, everyone should be appointed a therapist. You can
a lot of money
whatever you want to. Pretty sure where we come from, we know a lot of people that actually would need one of those, right? Would have helped them out a little bit, right, in life, right? Imagine these guys that All right, I wrote something down. I'm sneaky. Your average guy that's starting is like 19, 20 years old in the league, right?
Yeah, teenagers, man.
They're teenagers. Have they had a man in their life? Let's be real. Most of them are black. Have they had men in their life?
Nope.
Most likely no, right? So that means they learn through sex through what? They boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. That shouldn't happen. They need to be taught. Now, can you get away with it? I think you can, introducing them to the league. Yes, early in the thing. But it should stay there. Another reason, how many athletes have, not all, but don't we know a lot of athletes that just have a lot of kids, can't control themselves? Wonder why. I wonder damn why. No one ever taught them. You know what? Sometimes if you want to talk, if you want to help somebody, you have to talk. You can't wait for something to happen and then say, you know what? Probably should have talked to that guy about his issues. So you can't kind of nip it in the bud by getting into the sex education part of it. But the mental health should definitely be number one.
Okay.
But it's kind of hypocritical to be the NFL and kind of talk about mental health when we're putting you on the field, letting you bash your head in. You know what I mean? We still trying to hide the CTE. So
that's where the whole bias thing comes in. You know what I mean? You're asking the people that's benefiting from you going out there banging your head into each other. You're asking them to regulate and, you know, there's only so much you could do with football when dudes is ramming each other with their heads. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can do to protect your head. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's violence. Let's be real with ourselves. We never like being real with ourselves. It's a gladiator sport.
It is.
This thing to that we have in these days in time.
I was gonna say, don't get one left.
And you get paid. The only way to get a check is if you go out there and you play gladiator. So
life.
No, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to say, oh, I got some, you know, I'm getting headaches a lot. I don't want no more checks. I'm about to reach. You should do that, but ain't nobody gonna do that.
Y'all go to the gym, right? Y'all go to the gym. It becomes routine, right? So the days that you can't make it to the gym, what do you really want to do? Your body's telling you to do. Go to the gym, right? Because it's something you do. You pick up habits, right? You can't tell me, we ask people, yo, on Sunday, Mondays, and sometimes Thursdays, I want you to go act a fool. I want you to go run into cars, 60 miles per hour collisions. But you know what? When you get off that field, I want you to act like a model citizen at all times and turn off the violence.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
It's not a switch, bro. It's not a switch. I always feel the NFL players should be given a little bit more leniency. A little bit. Just a little bit, because wrong is wrong, right? But you asking somebody, it's like me being a hired killer, then you ask me not to kill on the weekends.
Yeah, take a day off.
Yeah, when I see the dude I've been looking for and I'm paid to kill right there. It's like
yeah, it's like this. I got this list for you. Each of them is $20,000, but you know, take today off. You know, don't hurt nobody.
I'm pretty sure John Wick didn't go to Yankee games.
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
All right. This is a quick one.
Corey chimed in again. He said, y'all looking good, fellas. Shots out to C-Mac.
Oh, yeah, definitely shout outs to that. All right, so real quick, let me see if you guys can answer this one quick, man. Should superstar athletes be able to rest between games?
You want to go ahead, Shawn?
It's more of a basketball question.
I mean, it kind of popped up in basketball recently, but what do you think?
First and foremost, I'm a sports fan, right? A sports fan. If the sports fans in me say no, because I might pay to go to that game. I might be with my child. This might be my only time I get to have money to go to this game. And then they cancel. And they're resting. So, all right. But as a fan, once again, if they say, no, this is going to help you and your team get to the championship and win it, I'm like, hell yeah, rest them. So I guess you got to be more. I wish it wasn't as much resting as they do now, but it's for the betterment of the team. But I think it goes too much and too far because this always happened. On back-to-back nights, Jordan might rest. Bird might rest a little early. He ain't going to take the whole game off. Jordan ain't going to take the whole game off, but they'll get out early if they're winning or not winning. So I got to blame KJ boy on this one, and I'm going to kick it to KJ. It's all Greg Popovich's fault.
Let's see. I think I understand why they do it. They pay these dudes crazy amounts of money. Notice that the load management kind of started when these dudes' contracts just absolutely went bananas. And if I'm a businessman, I'm not going to give somebody $30-40 million a year and then just completely wear them out. From a business standpoint, that doesn't make sense. You're damaging your product. You want them to be there for as many years so you can make as much money as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. So having a career like LeBron, even though he didn't stay with one team, if he did, that's 17 years of merchandise sold. So to make my point a little shorter, I think they should, but like Shawn said, I don't, as a fan, I don't like it. So it's kind of double-edged sword. But I do think they should. I think they're doing the right thing. And unless you're Kawhi Leonard and you're taking advantage of it.
All right,
he takes advantage of it.
You know who else takes advantage of it? Kyrie Irving. Remember 2 years ago we said we don't think Kyrie wants to play ball. We think he just want to collect checks.
Yeah, definitely. That's like when we go to work and we're like, I'm falling out.
Yeah, can I?
Yeah.
So it's almost as if you show up to work, but you kind of just sit in the car and be like, yeah, I'll be back. I'm here.
Yeah. Especially if
he
I'm
wants
getting
that check.
Yeah.
He wants just
like a year ago.
Oh, he feels entitled, just like I do when I go to work. I know I got days and I know I can get away with it. Be like, I got days. I'm taking it off and y'all gonna pay me.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep. He took advantage of the mental health rest.
Yeah.
All right. So for this question, I try to throw it a little curve on there for you because it did recently happen in basketball. But it almost seems like both of you guys are saying yes, but there's a lot of gray area. You know what I'm saying? It's not just black and white like you guys are saying because there's a fan side, the business side, and the actual athlete side. So there's a lot of sides in there. And for that reason, I got to give you guys each a point because it's really hard to figure out, which solid ground you guys should go on. And I think in America kind of feels the same way. And that's why we see it in the news. But let's move on and try to wrap this up. We only got 2 or 3 left. And so far, we got KJ down by 1. He has 11 points. And Shawn Mack has 12 points. So that's 23 questions that we've been knocking out these past 2 sessions.
Let's do this. Let's do one more. If he ties it, we leave it a tie.
Oh, all right.
Because we're pushing on an hour. We have 54, and I just don't want it to drag on for too long.
All right, cool. All right, so let's check this out. Let me look at these questions here. I'll even give you guys an option. I got one about DNA replication. I got another one about the lockout clause. I got another one about eligible Hall of Fame players.
Oh yeah, that one, right, Kay?
That one?
No, I'd rather do the basketball one, but that's up to y'all. If you want to do the Hall of Fame one, we could do the Hall of Fame one.
No, whatever.
I know our answer is going to be different on that. So
okay,
all right, cool. Let's wait. Let's make them wait on that one. Let's just knock this out real quick and see if Kay can tie it up. All right. The question is: all sports should have a lockout clause to protect the fans and the owners.
Elaborate.
Wait. Yeah, you need to elaborate because I don't know. What do you mean a lockout clause?
Lockout clause meaning that the fans can actually support the players if they decide not to play for that season, that half season, or whatever is going on.
Support them.
Why would the fans? Yeah, why would the fans support that?
So because it's a lockout clause. The players themselves are not happy with what's going on.
So could the fans stop it from happening?
All right, I guess that's not a good question then, because it doesn't make it falls too much on the fans wanting to see the players.
I understand, but what could they possibly do?
Or just not play?
No, the fans. I mean, what was the fans? Yeah.
Or the fans could support, kind of like a little voting system if they don't mind getting locked out for the season.
You leave it up in the hands of the fans and the owners.
And the owners. That's the little clause in there.
And take the players. That would never. I mean, I see what you're saying now, but the players' union would never. I mean,
I was about to say the union will. Yeah. Union would never let that happen. Okay, right?
Yeah, they'd be like, I mean, because some fans they have their own decision making on why they want things. It might not be in the players' best interest. So I don't see them. Yeah, that don't work out too much. Let's just go to the next question. Yeah.
Let's go to the next one then. All right. Okay, do you think that the developmental sports is geared too much competition and under training versus females in male sports?
Yeah, you know why? Do y'all remember the Olympics?
Yep, I remember that.
Remember that training? Remember they weight room?
Yep.
You looked over here, it was like barbells, all types of stuff. It looked about $10,000 to $20,000 worth of equipment. That was the NCAA, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the NCAA. And when you look to the left, the women's little workout thing was just one little black stand. It looked like they had some 3-pounders to maybe 20-pounders. That's wrong. But once again, how much more money does the men's teams from the NCAA makes for March Madness compared to the women's? Pretty sure it's like billions to maybe hundreds of thousands, right? Or maybe almost a billion to millions.
Yeah, I would say B and an M.
B and an M, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, because they technically do go to the same school, and all you have to do is just let them use it or buy their own. It's not like you're in the NCAA, so you don't really have to make money, get something for that because you're a student athlete, which just the dumbest phrase ever, a student athlete. Yeah. You know what that's called to me? Slavery.
This athlete.
You're going to get back to the slavery again. You're going to hit me, whip it and whip it. No pun intended. Say whip it. No pun intended, I promise.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. All right, Kay, do you have any rebuttal for that to try to?
I just feel like you said, the money's not there. That's like in high school when you have varsity and JV. The varsity gets because everybody comes on Saturdays. They come to see the varsity. The JV gets the old 1970 jerseys and. They get the old stuff. You know what I mean? They get the old. Remember, Gene? I remember me and Gene. We played JV, and we got the little tight
booty shorts this long on our legs.
Yeah, little.
And we look over at the varsities. They got the brand new long shorts, and we're like, what the?
Well, yeah. So that just brings me back to my point. If you're not in the prime time, you're not in the big boy league. Now, I'm not saying women can't be in the big boy league, but compared to the men's NCAA and the women's, that's like apples and oranges. Like you can't want, like, these teams are generating so much more money. How can you expect now? Should they? Of course they should. But let's just talk real life, people. If you're not elite, if you're not the best at what you do, you will not be treated as such. So that's just in anything. Your job, if you're not the best at your job, you ain't gonna get the raises that the best people get. You're not gonna get the money. So, I mean, it's just kind of simple math. You're not bringing in that money, you're not generating it. No, you shouldn't get what the people generating the money get. That's just that's life, man. That's just something you got to live with.
The only place that they went in that they can always have a strong argument at is soccer. And we had that issue with Rapinoe and Draymond Green a few months ago.
Yeah.
Just didn't understand I understand their plight because they do what they do. They're the best. They're 10 times better than our men's. They bring in way more money and they make more money and they generate more money per match. But we got down to that whole thing. The reason it seemed like they didn't financially is because they chose to take that clause, remember, Kay? That they can get time off their maternity leave and certain other things that they fought for, which if you took that and balanced it with their money, they actually made more money than the men's. But what she got into was the other sports. You can't just make you can't just take a big ass brush and I'm about to just paint it all. This is all the same. Everybody should get the same amount of money. No, they shouldn't get this. Every sport isn't equal. You can't say that. You can't say the basketball women WNBA should be making what NBA players make. Hell out of here.
Even with soccer, though, if that national, when they play together as a national team, if that was a league, they would be getting paid the same. But
yeah,
after that's over, they play their few little games. They go off into these little tiny unknown leagues that nobody hears of.
Yeah,
and that's where their money slows up at. You know what I'm saying? And then where the men go back to the Premier League and they go back to all these big leagues, and they still making millions and millions. So
yeah,
that's true. Yep. And if they're not making millions, they're visible. There's always like somebody else that kind of sees them playing.
Yeah. But you know, Draymond said what Kay always says, the women have to support the women.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. Let's be honest. They're not.
All right. Well, it looks like there's going to have to be a part 3, gentlemen, because with 23 questions and some A and B questions thrown in there, and one question where I threw you off completely with the cloning, we are.
Wait, no.
11, okay.
Hold on. No, we should do that because we put it in the title. We can't not put the one in the title and not even do it.
All right. Let's try to do that one now then.
Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, we could wrap it up. Let's wrap it up fast.
We'll wrap it up with the question 24 here. All right. Yeah. So there's 5 players eligible for the Hall of Fame, but some of them were accused of steroids. All right. So it's up to you guys to decide.
No. The basketball one was the.
Yeah, we'll save that question for the first question next episode.
Yeah.
I thought we had Brady. Even though I'm gonna change this title when we get off of here. Brady.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, you did. We did do that one already.
We did
so
that.
Right? Yeah, we did that. We did do that. That was the first one we did. So yeah, you're right. We can end it there if you want.
All that smoking.
It was the last show we did, the MJ one.
Yeah.
That's why I was. Yeah.
All right. So we leave it there, right? Do the title.
Yeah, let's just leave it there.
The other 2 questions are going to be very deep, and I really want to get your guys' ideas on how you guys are going to build these 2 questions. So we'll just leave it as it is right now with 23 questions from part 1 and 2. And Shawn Mack is leading by 1 point with 12 points. And KJ has 11 points with some stellar comebacks and some good answers. So how do you guys want to wrap this up? Because I thought that was a great debate. And I'm looking forward to part 3 to see how you guys could, I guess it's basically like a little tiny playoff with only 2 questions left.
Yeah. We had, let me see, an hour. So that was good. Y'all like the length of that? Was that a little too much, y'all think?
It feels like it might have been a little too much, but we'll see what they say.
Might have got stale a little bit. Maybe should have pulled it back like 3 questions. Maybe answer a little faster, right?
Yeah, I think we did. But this is a test run.
Yeah,
I hope our fans enjoyed it.
That's just not for us. That question's for anybody that's listening, that's going to listen to this in the future. Just let us know how you think it went, and ask some questions. We always look back at the videos, and we'll wrap it up. Anyone got anything to say?
No, I think it went well.
Only. Check out our store, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. This has been Shawn Mack. It's been KJ, our lovely host, Jean-Renaud.
Yes, sir.
And this is Sports Fans Only.
Yeah, live is tough.
Peace.
Peace.
Live is over.